They are visionaries. They are irrepressible preachers of the word. They are passionate and compassionate soul winners and excellent growers of the church.
Anything that I do, my aim is to please God. As a result of that, I tried not to fear anybody.
The faith that I had held on to, I'm not going to cheat. I will hold on to it till the very end.
We must pray sincerely that Jesus should increase while we decrease.
It is for Christians to celebrate the Lordship of Jesus Christ. And that Calvary is a point of victory for us.
They are our retired and highly reverend primates, archbishops and bishops of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion. Even though they are out of office, their good works speak loudly and eloquently for them. Reminisces aim to celebrate the lives, times and works of these legends whose impacts are evident in the phenomenal growth of the church across Nigeria, Africa and the rest of the world. Welcome to Reminisces, celebrating our icons, connecting with our pasts.
Welcome viewers to Reminisces on our station, Advent Cable Network, Nigerian Television, ACNNTV. This is another episode of Reminisces, designed for retired primates, archbishops, bishops, priests, and laity. Today, we are having as our guest our retired father, retired bishop, Professor Matthew Osunade. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Before we go into the interview, let me give you a short biography of our father, Bishop Professor Matthew Osunade. He was born on October 1943 at Tonkere, Oluwatelu Local Government Council, Osun State. In the early year, he went into academics at the University of Ife. Then, now Obafemi Awolowo University for many years. He was called into ministry during that time in the year 1982. He was a provost at the Cathedral of St. James's, Ibadan, where he was consecrated as the pioneer bishop of Ogbomoso on 13 March 2005. He retired in 2014 as Bishop of Ogbomoso by Titus Babatunde Olayinka. Sir, we would like to know about your birth and if there's anything you want to share with our viewers, if there's anything that happened during your birth and your vision when you are growing up as a youth before you are able to realize your vision in life.
Thank you, my interviewers. Thank you, the audience, the viewers. I was born about 80 years ago at Tonkere, Oluwatedo, located between Ile-Ife and Ede in Osun State. My parents were Chief Gabriel Adekemi Osunade and my mother, Rachel Abiose Osunade. Both have gone to be with the Lord. At an early age, I was accompanying my brother, the first son of my father from the first wife, to the farm. And many a times, he will assign his own portion of the farm to work on to me, to add to my own and make sure that I finished it. And he and his friend will go out to go and hunt for rabbits, squirrels, rats, And later on come back. When I failed to finish the assignment, because of the fear of my father, my brother will beat me up. It was a nearby friend of my father, late Pa Simeon Alaga Adeyefa, who called my father one day and said, "What plan do you have for this boy?" And my father responded, "No problem, he goes to the farm with his brother." And he said, From what I know, because that one goes to the farm and next to each other, this boy is always crying from the beatings received from his brother. You have to think of something." And then he said, "Why not you send him to school?" The Alaga, Chief Simeon Adeyefa, was Alaga of the church, St. James Church, Anglican Church, Oluwatedo. It's because of the Anglican Church in town that he named the place Oluwatedo, because it's a congregation, they're coming together of about 37 settlements scattered all over the place. So the man was part of the people who brought education to Tonkere. My father said, "Yes, if he will go." And I was asked if I will go. I said, "Yes, I will go." And I have a cousin, John Damade, who took me to school the first day in 1952. I completed my primary 6. We started from class 1, class 2, standard 1, standard 2. Then we jumped to primary 4, 5, 6. I finished in 1957. And the next thing was to go to secondary school or modern school. I took entrance examination to Odiomu Grammar School. I came first there. I went to Modakeke High School. I gained admission. I was admitted. I just went to my cousin, another one, at Magan, who was already in a modern school. And he took me to the principal of the modern school. And that one said, "Well, we were looking for people then." So I had admission to that place. I knew my father would not be able to sponsor me in the secondary school, so I opted for modern school, which my mother would be able to pay for. So somehow I will be trekking every fortnight from Tonkere to Ashikpa or to Odiomu, about 15 kilometers or 15 miles, and then 17 miles to Odiomu. Trekking fortnightly to go home to collect food from my mother. My mother then was selling crunched beef meat, tinko, which she was buying from maybe Ilorin. I don't know where she was buying it then. I don't know anything. And gari and egusi that I will take to Magan. So I opted for modern school at Magan. I didn't go to modern school at Odiomu, which was Anglican. The one at Magan was Catholic. So I went to Catholic school. In the Catholic school, by the second year, I was leading the rosary, cantation. And then I was also, because I was very good at art, I was exempted from, manual work. So I was also, each time others went for manual work, I would be busy drawing. In fact, I wanted to go to the university, but for the Civil War, because it was only Nsukka then that was offering fine art. So in the modern school, I had one of my teachers, was one Mr. Osunade, who took us in geography. That's where I started my interest. After modern school, we were looking 3 years at Magan. We were looking for employment. My father's conception was that now you are now graduate of a modern school, go and look for a job. That's all we can do for you. So I was at Magan, one of my reading mates. We were both looking for, how to drive bulldozer at the local council. Unknown to me, he was employed. Maybe up to a few days after he was employed, that's when I knew that, this my friend, Nathaniel Obisheson, this my friend I can't find him again because he is a native of Magan. So he had sponsors. So I was stranded. Then my cousin, who later became the Olufi of Magan, Oba Dr. Solomon Oyewole Babayemi. He died a little over 20 years ago, I think 1979. Was already a lecturer, a teacher at St. Paul's College, Abeokuta. In that place, I went to him just as a houseboy, waiting for what God will do. Just one afternoon in March, the result of modern school exam came out. And one student already in the college failed more than 3. So they asked him to withdraw. There is no patch up then. And so they sent for me. Will I want to be a teacher? I said, yes. So that's how I became a student, teacher training college. I did my grade 3, 61, 62. And you are taught only to teach up to primary 4 as a grade 3 teacher. So you will go out to go and teach for 2 years. So I was sent to a village, Iliolu, close to Odeda. I was there for 2 years. After 2 years, I went back for grade 2 at the same college. And my first principal at St. Paul's was late Paashofelu. We call him Aro Baba. That's his nickname. Any offense you committed, once you begin to shout Aro Baba, and you prostrate, you are forgiven. And if you are stubborn, you are, caught by any senior, we have cashier plantation. where you will be maybe for a week or so, and you'll be asked to be, cutting down the something for firewood to cook for us. And the college there, I spent another 2 years, 65, 66, for my grade 2. Some interesting experiences in that place include what we call joge. Joge was a system of putting a pail, metal pail, outside at night. Every student will be urinating there. And there is roster for it. But anybody they want to punish will be asked to carry the joge. If they feel that you are very stubborn, they can put stone inside the bucket. We left there again. I spent just 2 years. I passed my something. But before I completed my grade 2, I didn't know anything about how to get out of the teaching field. Just one of our juniors, enrolled for GCE and passed GCE. How did you do it? He enrolled for WUSI tuition. And another one enrolled for Rapid Resort College tuition. Then I also enrolled. And by then, you must pass qualifying English test before you can opt for more subjects. It was Tai Sholari crusade, that saved in Nigeria, because until you pass qualifying test English, you cannot do any other subjects. He argued it. He was taken to police station, to court, and he argued it. And that's when it was free for everybody. You can offer 20 courses. Nobody will, and if you failed all, fine. If you pass all. So my first attempt, I did it at Ilesha, qualifying test. I failed. I got 9. That was the last grade then. Which means I didn't know anything English. The second time, Tai Sholari has won the case, so that I then offered 6 subjects. And again, I failed geography, ordinary level. No, I failed English, ordinary level. My geography, I got A. British Constitution, I got A. Then government. I didn't pass European history. So the second year, I did English, O level, and then 3 A-level subjects.
Then how did you get into the university?
That's the route.
Yeah, and your first degree, and
that is I'm charting the route so that you'll be able to see the long detour, I had to take. After my grade 2, I was posted to another village. This is on Egbaodode, Owode area, Lademo. There, I studied on my own. Every time I take my salary, the first thing is I will go to Fola bookshop. Fola was a native of Ijebu-Jesha, but he has his bookshop in Abeokuta. I will be looking for any book in my various subjects. Coupled with my tuition, and also I have applied for past questions from University of London. So I was prepared. I must know the question that will come out before the exam. I don't wait until I get to the exam hall, because I've got so many years past questions. If this topic, appears this year, I know the periodicity, and that worked for me. I got my A in geography, so there's no question about it. I applied to UI for admission, but my form was, sorted out as awaiting result. But when I got there, I showed them my result. 2 A's, 1 D or C, A level, and then English, I got O, which is the last pass mark. So immediately they ordered for, recovery of my application form. And that day, another thing happened. I was sent to Faculty of Education to go and photocopy my results. I went there. I asked for, where is your toilet here? I was shown one. I entered the place. Students in this place, they demonstrate. Because I've never seen water closet before. In our college, it's pit latrine and jogging. If I get I will never demonstrate. Nah lie. Well, immediately, that day I got admission. I didn't know, you don't need to know anybody then. You are there. So that's how I entered Ibadan, direct entry. So I spent 3 years instead of prelim, 4 years, and so I read my geography. And we were the last set who were admitted for geography without O-level mathematics. After us, you must have mathematics. So it was in the university I first learned a little mathematics I know today. Algebra, quadratic, linear algebra, and so on, because we need them in our understanding. And then French. In the university, because we have to register for French also, we had 1 man. So that's how I had my first degree at the University of Ibadan. We finished June 14, but the government, because I had opportunity of what we call crash program, free, the government, federal government sponsored us, those who have teaching subjects. And so I was one of them. Otherwise, I was sleeping in art theater, Shoyinka's art theater in front of a Kuti Hall, when the only money I had got exhausted. After first term, no more money. And the experience in the university then is nothing to compare with what we have today. We have, we have tickets to go for food, just like that. So I graduated. It was my principal at St. Paul's, Abeokuta, who came for me on June 14 to say he wanted me to go to St. Andrew's College, Oyo. By then, he was the principal of St. Andrew's College, Oyo. Initially, I wanted to go to Olivet Baptist High School, Oyo. So he didn't want another principal to take me away. So he took me to Oyo. So I started work June 14, instead of waiting till July 1, when all others, So I've been favored all along. And after I was just there for 6 months before then, when I applied for postgraduate work. And the principal said I should continue doing my teaching and be doing the research part-time. I said, no, I will want to focus. I had nothing, though, but I got there. After 1 or 2 months, I think Professor Mabogunje called me. He said, Osunade, how are you being financed? I said, I have no sponsor, so. Okay, yeah, you've met him before. When he's in the room and he speaks, it's as if King Charles. He said, go to Mrs. Adedoko and ask her to give you a letter. That's how he appointed me as a research assistant on his own project, because he has so many of them. He was a consultant to so many then. You know, he had ordinary pass or top class from Ibadan. He said, me? So he went to London to read geography again and, you know, became a first-class candidate. So he has a pattern. He leaves his house in the morning, go to the library. At 11, he has a carrel there in the library. At 11, he comes to the department, and we always have a tea break. That's when we will see Mabogunje. We take tea. Immediately he finishes his tea, he's gone back to the library. Any materials he has written, he will drop it with Adedokun, collect the one he left yesterday or before, you know, for correction. He may write an article for 5 times, saying, no, this word, that word, that. So, it doesn't stop there. So, after 2 years of my research work, he called me again. And okay, I went to him. By then I was married. And then he said, we went to him in his bedroom. He was indisposed fairly then. Then he said, come in. I went in. Say, Baba, I've come to introduce my wife to you. He said, He greeted us. He said, I hope she will allow you to do this research. Because we want to send you out of this place. We can't teach you everything. You have to go out and come on back to teach us. And that's the essence of research. Your supervisor does not know what you are doing. You have to teach your supervisor. So, my wife said in their family, no problem, sir. And the next day again, he sent for me to meet one Mr. Pilgrims, the director of a Pan-African Institute for Development in Cameroon. So I was there for 30 months as senior research fellow. Then I decided to come to Nigeria for one particular reason. We had our first child here, Sheyita, and the second born, we had it there, the very D-Day. Day of, what is the meaning of D-Day? D-Day, the day of expectation. At D-Day, she gave back to back. You know, I was going to the church, coming back, going to the church, coming to the hospital with Sheyita when she delivered the Sheun. But the moral laxity, looseness in that place is unprecedented to me then. Because the Germans corrupted the people, in that area, Victoria, Buya, and so on. So I said, look, I don't want my children to grow up in this place. So that's why we decided to come home. I applied to Benin, I applied to Ife. Again, I did not attend any interview. I was offered a senior lectureship at Benin. I was offered assistant lectureship at OAU at the recommendation of Mabogunje, because he was one of my referees, and he says, say, who are we to interview anybody Mabogunje recommends? So that's why I'm very wary. I don't quickly, if I don't know you and say, I'm sorry, I cannot recommend you.
Thank you, sir, for the journey.
Yes.
Would you like to share your vision when you are growing up? What you want it to be?
Well, my vision was maybe by the time I got to the university system at Ife, that's when I began to have a vision. My vision was to, after retirement, to go and learn how to sew. That anybody you see on the streets, you know that this is a professor's hand. That was what I had in mind. But along the line, we were attending, I started attending churches in town at Ife. First Itasin, now the Cathedral of Ife East. I left that place because of something which I don't, There was just a preacher who said, if you drink a cold beer in the vicarage now, it's courtesy of my wife. I ran away from immorality. Now, how does it sound for me to? So I went to Gospel Faith. Beautiful. The gospel was preached, and it's still being preached there. But there are so many restrictions. One is that Christians cannot do law. I say, I don't believe, law starts from the Bible. And then, if you miss any Bible study, the leadership will castigate you that you're unfaithful. This is not right. That's how we went back to All Souls, the University Chapel. And from there, we offered ourselves as lay readers. And we were commissioned by Papa Joseph Adetiloye, Abiodun Adetiloye, then Ekiti Bishop. After a year or two, after 2 or 3 years, we went to Elisha. I went to Elisha, even with 1 or 2 of my students, to meet Baba Oloyin Falope, because I don't want to come to Ibadan. Because of, the person there, we felt that no, we can't allow. So we met Baba Falope. I spoke to him, my mission. He said, yes, go to your diocese. That's not what I want. Well, I came back to Ife. The following year, Baba Falope retired. And Baba Olajide was elected. So, myself and late Professor Yedeji, we buried him 2 months ago, under 2 months ago, went to Elisha to meet Baba Olajide. And Baba Olajide asked Professor Moya Jowo and Dr. Kayode, former provost Ondo, to recommend us. He did, and they told us to meet Babolajide. The question Babolajide asked us was, are you prepared to serve in Elisha? We said yes, because we are working at Ife. So we are the first set of non-stipendiary workers. And Papa promoted, anybody who was desirous of coming to the church. That's how immediately say, okay, Oyedeji, you go to Ishona. Osunade, you go to Omofe. And I was to work with late Provost Adebusoye of Owo. That one is a standard on its own. You cannot read Yoruba, call it Re instead of Re. Because we work with NBC, Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation, was doing morning prayer then. So it has a standard. So every Saturday, I had to travel. No, every Friday, I had to travel from Benin via Akure Owo, to Elisha to come and read the Bible to him, to make sure that I can read Yoruba. And I did that. At a point, Babolaje said, well, I think you have to postpone this thing till when you finish your sabbatical. I was on sabbatical in Benin then. I said, no. I offered myself. It's not anybody who says I must do it. So I enjoy it. Late Adebusoye was a taskmaster. Perfect. Oh. So, but later on, Olowoyo came in. When Adebusoye was transferred to Ijebu-Jesha, from Ijebu-Jesha, he became the provost of Owo. That was my journey to the ministry, and I learned the art and spirit of ministry from Olowoyo. As my archdeacon at Elisha, and when he was bishop of, in fact, all his children, I think 3 of them passed through me to get married. He had only girls, and so he was particular about their movement, and so on.
So you got ordained when?
I was ordained December 18, 1983.
With some of your friends you can still remember?
Yes, with late Professor Gabriel Ademola Oyedeji. We went there to, so Oyedeji worked with Ademowo, the retired Archbishop, and I worked with Oluwoyo. When we had problem at Ife, and we have to relocate, our house was touched. Our retirement home, very big, a bedroom, this is even small. In our retirement home we built, because when I worked in Swaziland, I was there for 4 years. My wife was taking care of the children, 4 of them, was taking care of them, building the house. The place was touched. And I thank God, because the day they touched the house, they wanted to lynch my wife or criminate her, in that inferno. So, but as the Lord will have it, she just left. He was the principal of Marimi High School. She just left Marimi High School to the campus to meet Akinde, the Archbishop Akinde. who was the head of computer, to give him her computer for his students. That was saved her. Because our house was very close to Marimi High School, if there.
Yes, sir. Maybe that one would be another story for us before we go into the ministry. Do you have something there, Gwenga?
Thank you, my Lord. You became provost of St. James's, Cathedral of St. James's the Great, and I was just thinking, looking at your journey through the university system, and wanted to know, maybe that was one of those things that prompted you when you came to the cathedral in Ibadan to initiate the birth of the Cathedral College. I don't know whether I want to say one or two things concerning that, and what were the experiences, and because just like other churches, dioceses also keyed into that, started their own colleges as well too. And also, I would like my Lord to marry that with the evangelical operations as a cathedral, starting churches, which was not the norm in most of the dioceses. Maybe we want to match that together. Share one or two things with us.
Yeah, thank you. I came to Ibadan when we were chased out of Ife in December 1997. So it was Baba Olajide who gave me one of the rooms, maybe one of the chaplain's rooms behind the office there, to stay with my family. I was already an archdeacon. I got all my preferments from Baba Oloniyo, my bishop at Ife. So I was with him. Then suddenly Lashebikan came to the cathedral from All Souls. Olowoyo wanted me to be put at All Souls, that if Baba Olajide does not fix me for All Souls, I should come to Ijebu. Went to, so your hands are tight. So at a dignitaries meeting in early February 1998, Baba just said, Egbebumi, take Osunade to Ekotedo. That's all you can do. Fakwe, you and your people continue to rebel. Because the All Souls people, they were given opportunity to elect, to send 3 names. It was Fakwe, Fakwe, Fakwe. Osunade was not there. If Osunade was number 4, maybe I could have been the vicar of All Souls.
Fakwe of what? It's the same one or the same Fakwe?
Yes, the same Fakwe. So he was at the Emmanuel College then, but assisting at All Souls. So when Olashebikan came to the cathedral, the people wanted him to stay. So, Papa, since he gave them patronal rights to nominate 3 names, he was put there. And then Egbebumi take Osunade to Ekotedo. The following day, me and my wife, we woke up and they said, let's go and say thank you to Baba. We went to Baba Olajide and I prostrated. He said, what? I say for the police, no. I'm sorry, that's all. That's what the best I can. I say it was a divine posting because Ekotedo was the only church I've ever ministered in Ibadan before then. So that's how we went to. And a year later, Lashebikan was elected Bishop of Ondo. Cathedral was vacant. I had a member who has some people in the cathedral. So when they were searching for people to be provost, that woman, late Mrs. Faluro, just said, your provost is with us. Then one of the children of Pa Oduntan, his own church is All Saints. I was invited to All Saints to preach harvest. So this one, I don't know him. I've never met him. Even till today, I don't know him. Told his father, the chairman of the, provost committee, that, we had your provost yesterday. That's how it was only me they recommended for appointment as the provost of the cathedral. And Baba was hesitant to appoint me. He said, I don't have full theological training. It was only the, what do we call the one we did in Emmanuel College? The diploma. But, it's not full-time. It's only day something, tent making ministry. 4 years. So, Papa was very hesitant. So Baba Olajide had to consult with Pa Akintayo, the former provost. Say, see what your cathedral people are doing. That's when I say, yes, that's what the Holy Spirit asking them to do. He was the bishop of Rev'D then. I think he was retired. Then he gave me he consulted with Bishop Gonigi, another provost of the cathedral. Say, this is what Okebola people are saying. He said, yes. Gideon, give him, he called him, give him, let him. It was then Papa wrote to appoint me as provost. And by the very morning, early in the morning, he called me from Ekotedo. Osunade see me. I went there. He called me to his bedroom upstairs. Opposite their bedroom, they sleep. There's another room which, he lied down and then gave me a letter. He said, well, that's what your people say they want. I was hesitant, and he's already packed 3 books, 18th century books, explaining the liturgy. Say that I should go and study it and prepare for legal year. I said, so that's how I got to something.
Yeah, maybe you try to rewind a little, sir.
Yes.
You talk about the crisis in Ife that led you to Ibadan.
Yes.
That crisis No, how was it? How can you...
Now, the former Olubushe, the former Oni, Olubushe the third, I think the second, was at war, not just conflict with Modakeke. And they regard me as Modakeke. And I was pastoring one of their major churches, the third, even after the third. After Ayetoro, you have Ayegbaju, then Iremo, then the fourth one, Ilare. I was the Archdeacon of Ilare. So we ran out of the place, but our children remained there. So May 8, 2000, they abducted our son, a final year medicine student. They were just three months away from their induction. And he was leading the 176 students in his set. He was abducted and killed. It was the grief that did not leave my wife up to the time she died, because she was still mourning him. Nobody, they were going with the pictures of both Sheita and Sheni. So they are
Why that?
I've said it. I'm from Modakeke side. And Ife people, any Modakeke is enemy. Ife people to Modakeke is enemy. So they are, and also there was a marriage which I objected to. This lady is pregnant. And I said, no, it has to be marriage blessing. It didn't go well with the parents. I'm trying to recount my sins, my offenses. Then the third thing I think is, my wife was the principal of Maremi. And Maremi is not an Ife school. It belongs to the university. So anybody from Ife or anywhere can come in there. So my wife was accused of admitting Modakeke students. So all of us, the two of us, we were offenders. And we pay with it, we paid for it, dearly for it, you see. That's how our son was killed, just 3 months ago. And if you see Sheni, it's like as if I just coughed him out.
Just look like you.
Yes, the difference is that he is taller, because when I was in South Africa, he called me and said, Daddy, I want to be tall. I don't want to be short like you. I should pay for him. I said, and I paid for him. So he's very lanky. He's just like you. Oh my God. So that's how Ife Modakeke crisis, and that brought an end. Oh, the house was burnt. Well terracoed. 5 large bedrooms. I was using it as my library. My library was burnt. The children, the boys, the girls, they have the large sitting room. Our own bedroom is almost these two together. With the children, when they bring their friends and they don't want to see our faces, they can take over the sitting room and we go to our room. So, because we bought 4 plots, how much is it by then? Maybe less than 100 naira. You know. So
that was a very sad incident.
yes.
And I don't. That has have to be to how you met your wife and married her, and I believe she helped a lot in your ministry before she passed on.
Yes, she attended Ife University of Ife. I attended Ibadan. She was a member of IBCU. I was a member of IBCU. She was a member of, what is the Ife one?
IBCU.
No, not IBCU. Ife is, maybe F is, F is, I can't remember their fellowship. And then we had Hospital Fellowship, UCH. We were always meeting at Equa Church. From there, we moved to Emmanuel College. So we were meeting, and nothing happened. We didn't talk other than, how are you, sister? How are you, brother? But we had a crusade to Agbo during the holiday. I can't remember, I think 1970. So we took a luxurious bus here. We were collecting students along the line. Atore, she was there because it was holiday time. She was at Atore, waiting for us. She came into the bus. So off we went to Agbo. Strangely, something welled up in me. I've never spoken to her before. And when we got to Agbo, I was the timekeeper. She was the leader of the girls in the girls' hostel. After 3 days, I called her, let us talk. Are you engaged? She said, no. I'm not engaged either. I want you to pray if we can marry each other. That was all we said at Agbo. As timekeeper, I was going to the hostel, the female hostel. I will be shouting her name. But after that discussion, I don't shout her name again. I was not shouting her name again. No. I will just like go, girls, come out. Instead of saying, Bola, get your girls out. No. So we came back. August that year, we went to Kaduna, St. Faith's College, for IFAC meeting. We met again. Look, tell me, what have you heard from God? As you decided, then she asked me 3 questions that I had to ponder on them. I said, no, I don't have to ponder. I will tell you lies later. Why do you want to marry? So do I have to think about why do I want to marry because I want somebody who will be cooking for me. I say, hey, so you want a cook? Well, my mother, did all my cooking, all my father's cooking. My father didn't know how to. And he gave me 1 million. Personal money. No, this money is not for me. I took him to Baba Akinfenwa. And unless we know what we are doing, we are robbing in Jesus' kingdom. There are 6 things you have to do to be a member of this church. I can remember some of them. You must be prepared to pray 1 hour every day.